The Knicks are killing me, Ant. They're killing me.
Yeah. So a little backstory in the podcast. It took us 3 times to get the intro right here. And each time I delivered it with a little bit more energy because it's taken a little bit of build up to even just get on the microphone today. That game was, you mentioned it at one point too, Kyle. It for such a close game, it just felt like a complete and utter blowout. It was really a lot to sift through.
Yeah, I didn't actually have any problems with how they played tonight, strangely. I know we're all annoyed by the losses, and we're also annoyed that they're coming when the kids aren't even playing. So it's a little bit, it's a little bit frustrating that there's not even a little bit of development being committed to. But it just seems like nobody really cares right now. It's kind of sad. I mean, I thought they played pretty well, all things considered, tonight. It's the Lakers. They're a title contender. Like, they're a very good team.
Right.
There's no shame in losing by 8. Normally when LeBron comes to MSG, we get blown the fuck out. You know what I mean? Like, it's nice that it was actually a game. They were in it the whole time. They were always at an arm's length, it felt like, but they were in it still. They cut it close a couple of times. Dame Dotson went nuts. So, I mean, it was fine. I mean, to me, that's if there was a good loss, that would be a good loss, But it stinks because why is Kevin Knox barely playing? Why are the kids barely playing? That's right. Why it feels like a bummer.
So the Knicks end up going down 100-92 to the Lakers, and yeah, like you said, they're a title contender. Both these teams have very opposite looking records. We're playing against LeBron James and Anthony Davis. We didn't really expect a win as much as everybody wanted a repeat of the Mario Hezonja game from last year. But, it wasn't meant to be. Davis puts up 28, LeBron puts up 21. We had a couple of decent performances from the Knicks, kind of like you were saying, the Knicks definitely had a couple of moments where they played well. I thought especially in the first half, they looked pretty promising. The first half was the first quarter was pretty back and forth, but the Knicks were able to play some really tight defense, and they had the lead for a lot of that second half, that first half and the second quarter. But they were getting some decent stops. I thought Mitch was really setting a good tone out there, but it's just all of a sudden these third quarters come around and then they just lose all intensity. I don't know. Is there anything particular that you've noticed, Mike, about them coming out of halftime going into the third quarter?
Nothing really. I just think the starting unit just doesn't work well, especially when Randle or Morris are off. Scoring is just a nosedive. Randle played 35 minutes, 6 for 16, and he was just getting dominated in any way you can. And he started reverting back to the Randle we saw when Fizdale was here, where he was spinning into defenders, just throwing it away. I mean, Frank on the other side, Frank was awful too, 0 for 8. He only played 12 minutes, which he deserved this time. Why was Randle still out there for 35 minutes, stinking it up? He wasn't even rebounding. Kyle Kuzma got a rebound off him one play, and he just didn't even move. So I just want to know what the plan is. I think the best way to capture this game, I think it was Kyle that tweeted, he's like, Damian Dotson deserves more minutes, we say, for a third year in a row.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's just like Groundhog Day. I mean, let me see the makedown for the kids. Mitchell Robinson, 24 minutes. Frank, 12. Knox, 10. Dennis Smith, 3. Yeah. Alonzo Trier, 0.
Yeah. Smith.
There's no plan. There's no plan.
Playing under 4 minutes. I was really surprised. I was kind of oh, wow, they finally decided to play Dennis Smith. I guess 8 shots was enough for Frank. But yeah, clearly he wasn't good. I mean, in 4 minutes, he was a -9 out there. So
he was awful. He was awful.
I mean, yeah, he looked like he did not belong in the game, and 4 minutes tells you all that. But yeah, I mean, defensively, it was a shit show out there. I mean, LeBron was just taking Knox to town every time he could. I mean, honestly, when we talk about Frank, he did have some decent defensive plays. In the first half, there were some really nice opportunities for him, passing the ball and just driving inside and being able to try to make things happen from there. I did think he was being pretty aggressive, and we saw with the missed dunk and former TKW member Matt Spendley tweeted, "One day Frank's actually going to make one of those dunks." I thought that was pretty spectacular, considering he's had like 5 of those opportunities at this point. But yeah, like I was excited at the beginning, but it's just like he is. I mean, these last couple of games, he's fallen off a cliff. Trier still can't get any minutes. We finally got Dotson some time and stuck with him, and like he had to really fight to get 27 minutes in this game. You know, Knox's minutes are way down. We're still watching Bobby Portis take 8 shots a night. Like, we're cooked.
It's gross. Now, the thing with the fact that Frank has to take 8 shots is a bigger problem.
I agree with that.
He has to take 8 shots. Yeah. Like, where the fuck is everybody else? Bullock's still a little rusty. He still hasn't gotten in a groove. There's just no scoring. And I feel like we're just saying the same arguments we've said for the last 3 years, where it's, why are the veterans getting longer leash than the young kids? Dennis Smith was bad, but he played 4 minutes. What the hell are you going to do in 4 minutes?
Yeah.
Like, he missed 13 games. Let him get some run. I know it was a close game, but like I said, Randle he wasn't doing anything to help you, and he was out there.
This is part of my issue, too, with parts of development that I think people overlook. It's, you know, everyone's like, oh, Mitch plays better off the bench. Mitch plays better off the bench, right? Well, why is that? He's playing a lot of second units. You know, part of development should be, okay, you're dominating the second units. You should probably start trying to see if you could dominate the starting units, like we saw him do already for like 30 some odd games at the end of